All right, what's good, YouTube? What's good? There's a lot of talk around Trump, around his world domination plans when it comes to Greenland, Panama, Canada becoming a 51st state. There's a lot of talk. And as an investor, I like to be in the know about what's going on, not only with politics, with geopolitics, because whether we like it or not, a lot of politics, a lot of geopolitics, these things do indeed affect the market. They affect me as an investor. So, today we're going to discuss why Trump wants Greenland. Why Trump wants Greenland? Because this isn't his first time putting a bid out for Greenland. He did it back in 2019 when he was president before. So we're going to talk about why Trump wants Greenland. We're going to talk about because it's not just about world domination. When you look at the headlines, you have to deep dive into it. I like to do my research. There are very specific, very strategic, very important reasons why Trump wants Greenland. And we're going to talk about it today, man. Let's get into it. Let's get into it.
Well, President-elect Trump is putting the world on notice about his intentions to acquire Greenland. Just yesterday, Trump sent his son, Don Jr., and a delegation of other representatives to the territory's capital city of Nuuk. Now, the president-elect says Greenland is essential for keeping the United States and the world safe and secure. Watch.
We need Greenland for national security purposes. You have approximately 45,000 people there. People really don't even know if Denmark has any legal right to it. But if they do, they should give it up because we need it for national security. You look outside, you have China ships all over the place. You have Russian ships all over the place. We're not letting that happen. We're not letting it happen. And if Denmark wants to get to a conclusion, but nobody knows if they even have any right, title, or interest. The people are going to probably vote for independence or to come into the United States. But if they did do that, then I would tariff Denmark at a very high level.
And when Democrats
Okay. So, this is when we have to do our research and deep dive into the real meat and potatoes, the real reason behind why Greenland is important. So, as y'all know, I got my notes in front of me, man. I like to do my research. I don't like to just speculate. I don't like to just talk. I like to do my research. So, when we're talking about Greenland, there are a few reasons why Greenland is important to us. One being the strategic location. It's situated between North America and Europe. Greenland occupies a crucial position for monitoring and controlling North Atlantic and Arctic shipping routes. Number two, Greenland is high in natural resources. They have a lot of natural resources, especially with all of the ice melting, and that goes into the shipping routes. Number three, the Arctic influence. You have Russia and China. They're setting up shop over there in the Arctic. It's very big as far as shipping routes, as far as military. There's a lot of things going over there. It has scientific value, climate research and monitoring, and also it has historical context. The United States has been over there for a long time. Since the 40s and 50s, we've had bases over there as far as military when we were going through World War II, and along with other things like the base that we have over there where we do space monitoring and missile defense or something like that. All right, so let's get into specifically reasons that Trump has stated and people in his cabinet, people around him have stated why Greenland is important to him, important to the United States, and why he's pushing to obtain Greenland. Okay, so Greenland is rich in mineral resources. They have access to global shipping routes and strategic location in the Arctic, which is important as tensions with Russia and China flare. So, Greenland has 25 of the 34 minerals deemed critical by the European Commission, including lithium and graphite, which are key for both EV batteries and cell phones. EVs, you know, we have Tesla over here. Of course, China has BYD and some other EV makers. EVs are taking over. EVs are a big deal. You have Nvidia getting into the EV space with autonomous vehicles, and EVs are popping up everywhere. EVs are a big deal. These natural resources are a big deal. And in order for us to be at the forefront when it comes to technology and its advancements, we have to have access to these resources. So that is indeed a big deal. Also, Greenland has rare earth reserves, crucial for the energy transition, military equipment, and computer chips. Those are three critical things to the United States. Energy is very important. Military equipment is extremely important, and computer chips are extremely important. Computer chips are the key to the future. We need all of those things. China currently dominates the natural resources. They have a lot more natural resources than us. We actually get resources from them to make our chips. Since then, we've seen a couple of months ago in retaliation to us withholding our chips, China, they've implemented tariffs. They're withholding certain natural resources, and Greenland could be a supply source for America when it comes to getting some of these resources that we need for military equipment, for chips. So, Greenland also has a lot of oil and gas reserves. I don't even need to explain why that's important. Also, as Arctic ice melts, shipping routes around Greenland could become more accessible, significantly cutting transit times and costs. That's extremely important when we're talking about supply and demand, trade. These shipping routes are imperative. We cannot allow China or Russia to set up shop in the Arctic and take control, and now we're at their whim. We got to act first. We have to control that region. We have to control the Arctic seas. We have to control, and if we get control of Greenland, we have control of that. That's why it's important. That's why it's important. You have Russia and China. They're over there. They're trying to do the same thing. This isn't just something that Trump's just came up out of the blue with. This is something that's really going on. Something that's really important. So when we're talking about that, that's where the Panama Canal comes into effect because the Panama Canal is a bottleneck. Only so many ships can go through there at one time. And as the ice is melting around Greenland, as the Arctic is opening up, it's providing opportunity for more shipping routes. It's providing opportunity to have more control over those areas, over those waters. And you have China, they're trying to set up Arctic Silk Road over there. We can't allow that to happen. We can't allow that to happen. They already have two key routes on either side of Greenland, the Northwest Passage and the Trans-Arctic route. Also, Russia has reopened military bases in the Arctic. If Russia's over there opening up military bases, we need to have eyes on them. That's another reason why Greenland could be important to us. If we have Greenland, we can keep an eye on our opposition. Also, China wants to build a polar Silk Road through Arctic waters. So U.S. access is key. What is a Silk Road? The Silk Road is a network of trade routes that connected China to the rest of the world for 2,000 years. They're trying to build a series of trade routes through the Arctic. So that's why Greenland isn't just important to us. It's important to Russia. It's important to China. Everybody's trying to set up shop over there. Also, U.S. has had presence in Greenland since the early 40s and owns the Pacific Space Base in Northwest Greenland, which includes missile defense and space monitoring. So it's also important to us from a military standpoint, from a national security standpoint, from a space standpoint. You're talking about missile defense and that being a place from where we can counteract any missile strikes coming over into the country. So also, Trump's focus on Greenland is mainly centered around coming from his team is mainly centered around economic competition with China and making sure America has key elements to make advanced tech to counter China's rise. But as we've seen, Denmark has said, Greenland has said it is not for sale. And earlier this week, they asked Trump, is this something that you would be willing to take by force, something that you would be willing to get the military involved in? He said, I can't take that off the table. Granted, we do not want to be in another war. We don't want to be in another war, that's for sure. But we don't know. We don't know if he's serious about this. Is this just the art of the deal? Are these tactics to try to get negotiations going? We don't know. But what we do know is This is not just some mission to have dominance over the entire world. Greenland is, in fact, extremely important from a natural resource perspective, from a national security perspective, from a shipping route perspective, and it's important for us to set up shop over there before our opposing countries, Russia and China. We can't let them take over the waters. We can't let them set up military bases over there. We can't let China set up shipping routes all through the Arctic and through Greenland. We have to go over there. We got to take it over. We have to be at the forefront. You see what I'm saying? So that's why Trump wants Greenland. That's why it's important for the United States to have a strong presence over there in Greenland. And if we can acquire Greenland, even more the better. Even more the better. Kind of goes into the same thing with the Panama Canal and why we acquired it back then. But I'll say that for another video. But this is why Trump wants Greenland. Let me know in the comments, man. Do you agree with it? Do you think we'll be able to acquire Greenland? Do you think Trump is just talking? Do you think he would actually use military force to go over there and try to take Greenland by force? I don't think that'll happen, but it's 2025, man. We've seen crazier things. I don't know. See you on the next one.